Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by for your July tarot forecast, or tarot insights, I should say. What I'm going to be looking at is not a comprehensive look at your month at all. This is going to be covering one theme that shows up during your month at some point. It may have to do with love, it may have to do with family, it may have to do with work, it may have to do with your home. It can be anywhere. I basically have given free rein to Sacred Spirit. We're going to talk about whatever it is that Sacred Spirit wants to bring up for each sign. So it's whatever is most important for you guys to hear about. I know that disappoints some of you because you just want those love readings, but sometimes there are other things that are important too. So, what I'm actually going to be looking at in these monthlies is one particular life cycle that shows up for you sometime in the month of July. And a life cycle, what do you need to know about that? A life cycle is something that we all go through, and the purpose of it is to teach us something or to let us experience something either new or at a new level than before. So life cycle gives us a new lesson or new experience, and we have the setup of the life cycle, then we have the lesson or the experience, and then we have the fulfillment or the ending of the life cycle. The fulfillment is what happens as we integrate that lesson or experience into our lives, and that'll be more at the end of the reading. That'll be like the last three cards that I talk about. Before that is the setup, and then in between is the actual lesson or experience. How long is a life cycle is something that I hear a lot. Life cycles really, as far as timing, depend on you and how quickly you embrace or how much you resist the lesson or experience that you're being set up for. So, completely up to you. I've seen life cycles last as short as 20 minutes, although that's pretty rare usually. And I've seen them go on for years and years and years. So like I said, it really depends on you and how willing you are to embrace the lesson or how much you're resisting that lesson or experience. Okay, so thank you once again, everybody, for stopping by, for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Now you know what you're getting into. On with your reading. Hello there, Sagittarius. Let's just dig right into your reading. The first thing that I'm looking at is your environment, and I'm feeling like there's a lot of emotion flying around your environment right now. Let me backtrack. Environment is any place where you have energy or effort invested. Usually it's home, but I have seen it also come up as work or school, so just be open. Anywhere you have energy or effort invested. So there's a lot of emotion that's flying around about your environment, and that's not really normal. So that's out of the norm. So there are people either that are emotional in your environment, or it may be that you're feeling very emotional and you're kind of letting that all hang out in your environment. The next thing that I'm looking at does talk to me about your subconscious leanings, and this looks to me like you're feeling a little bit disappointed about financial news or news about material goods that you've had lately, and your subconscious is processing, how can I make things better for myself financially? And then Sagittarius, on your learning style, I feel like you for whatever research you're doing and during this particular life cycle in July, I feel like you're delegating a lot of research and a lot of information finding or fact finding to other people, and you're asking them to actually bring back information to you. It's the first time I've seen that come up. That's interesting. As far as communication style, I feel like you're being very quiet. You're watching. You're just waiting to see what happens. You're not saying anything. You don't want to interfere with the flow. You just want to see where the flow goes. And so you are just being very, very, very quiet. Big eyes, small mouth. All right. Let's look at your work for this particular life cycle in July. Now, work can be that thing that you do to make a living, but it can also be those things that you're doing to improve your inner character whenever I read cards. So what I have coming up for work, if this is talking about how you're making your living, then you may be doing some traveling during this particular life cycle in July for work. So some kind of business travel that may be coming up for you. If this is not business travel, then this is doing something that is very creative, over the top, um, larger than life as some kind of project that's coming up at work. Then, if we're talking about doing that inner work, doing that self-care work, what I see going on here is a lot of restlessness. I see that there's some confusion that you're trying to deal with, Sagittarius. Seems like things, you're having a hard time landing on one side of the fence or the other, and it seems like it's on more than one issue. And so that inner work is really trying to dig in and find out what it is that you really want so that you can just make a decision and live with it and move forward and be fine with it. And for some of you, that's going to come in as a financial, making money, and for some of you, it'll come in the other way. And of course, for some of you, it won't come in at all. It is a general reading. All right, so the next thing that I'm looking at is that thing that is being grown or expanded as you go through this particular life cycle. And what I have here is this to me is really talking about sort of reining in the creativity a little bit. So there's something that you're going to be working on that's going to be a project that you're going to be having to be very logical about, that to get this project completed and be able to move forward with it, you have to really think inside the box. And I feel like this is not so much normal for you, Sagittarius, to think inside the box on too much. And so this is where you're really growing or expanding during this particular life cycle. Things that you stand up for during this particular life cycle are good friends and friendship. So there's somebody that you're friends with. I feel like you have somebody else in your life that's saying, why are you friends with that person? That doesn't make any sense to me. And you're defending that friendship. You're letting them know, hey, this person is important to me. Doesn't matter to me what you think of them. I value them. Okay, so the next thing that we have coming up is how other people perceive you. What I'm pulling off of this is that other people feel like you're lonely, you're missing somebody, or you're homesick. And it's interesting because this keeps coming up and keeps coming up. This has got to be at least the third time I've seen this card come up. So other people are not in the same position though. But I do feel like other people are sensing that you're lonely, that you're homesick, that there's something that you're missing or someone that you're missing. So lesson or experience. The experience here or the lesson here is that you're not really feeling in touch with yourself. You're not feeling like you're very well grounded in reality. You're also not feeling like you're in touch with spirit. You're kind of feeling like you're just kind of free floating, not really touching anything to sort of be your anchor or be something that you can grasp onto. So the experience is really figuring out, okay, how do I go from feeling this way to feeling like I've got something that I can hang on to? How do I get myself grounded again? How do I get myself back in touch with spirit? What's going on that I am just free floating out and in between everything like this? Now, as you integrate this lesson or experience into your life, you've got a few things going on. The first of them is that you're starting to build a foundation with something. And so this really, got to tell you, a lot of this feels very workish to me, Sagittarius. So I feel like for a lot of you, this is coming in the work sector. But there's also a lot of relationship stuff happening here, and not necessarily romantic relationship. So I feel like for some of you, this is talking about some of your friendships or even some of your family relationships where you're close and you're like friends to somebody in your family. But anyway, I do see a firm foundation being set up or built here. So if this is a relationship where or if this is a work situation where it didn't seem like there was any security, there was no foundation, the good thing is that foundation is being put in place now. There is some kind of confusion also. As you're putting that foundation in place, there's also some kind of confusion. And it feels to me like The confusion is even as you're putting the foundation in place, and I don't think you're doing that by yourself, I think somebody else is helping you. But even as you're putting that foundation in place, you're kind of thinking to yourself, is this going to be worth it? Am I going to be around here long term? Am I going to be in this relationship or in this job long enough to really see the benefits of this? Is this worth my time? But still, whether you're going to be around there a long time or not, putting in that foundation is always a good thing. Ultimate fulfillment of this life cycle does talk about a gift. Now, if this is in a work situation, this could be a promotion, this could be just a bonus, this could be time off, but some kind of gift coming in. And if this is talking more about relationship, this could be a literal gift from somebody. Maybe they bring over a cake or a pie, or maybe if you're a musician and you want a certain drum set, maybe they get you a drum set. I don't know. Could be anything. But I do see a gift coming in for you, Sagittarius, as the ultimate fulfillment of this life cycle. And also, I got to tell you, the gift really could be like if you get yourself tuned into sacred spirit, because that's what the lesson is all about. Like, how do you get grounded and get tuned in? That gift could be some knowledge that comes in from sacred spirit, or some kind of blessing that comes in from sacred spirit once you get tuned in. And that gift could be actually being tuned in. Just the relief that brings and the clarity that brings could be the gift that comes in from that. So anyway, Sagittarius, that's what I see for the life cycle we looked at for you in the month of July. Thank you all so much for stopping by, hanging out, liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. I do appreciate all of your support. Everyone have a fantastic month, and I will see you back here the next time. Peace out.